7 a.m. and it's now time for the morning watch.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Toussaint. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org, and if you're overseas and on the move. U.S. listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you're in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the first watch today, evaluating Tuesday's budget presentation by the Minister of Finance. And in the second watch, Kids Hub, training the next generation of on-air journalists. For our social media question, we ask, what are your thoughts on Minister Williams' budget debate presentation? We're asking you to share your responses on our Love 101 FM Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on WhatsApp 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before all of that, here's our quote.
All right, today's I quote says, the only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. And that one is from Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Yeah, good morning, Joka.
Good morning, good morning.
Yeah, I think this quote serves as a timely and timeless reminder of how powerful our minds are.
I agree.
Yes, and I gather you're going to the football match later.
I'm not sure yet. Let's see, hopefully.
All right, the first watch will be back after this break.
Love 101 FM invites you to listen to a broadcast of the 2025-2026 budget presentation of Julian Robinson, opposition spokesperson in finance and the public service, this Thursday, March 13 at 2 p.m. That's a broadcast of a presentation of Julian Robinson, opposition spokesman on finance and the public service, here on Love 101 FM, the family station.
Get ready to shine a light on the brightest stars in gospel music.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to Center Stage, the ultimate destination for exclusive interviews and inspiring stories from the gospel music industry. From legendary gospel artists to rising stars, from producers to industry experts, we're bringing you the inside scoop on the people who make gospel music happen. Join us on Center Stage as we delve into the hearts and minds of gospel music's finest. Discover their passions, challenges, and triumphs, and get ready to be inspired.
Please welcome.
Join me, Nadine Blair, inside Center Stage with Nigel Wilkinson, Saturday, March 15 at 8 p.m. Now, there's what I'm going to ask me. It surely will be fun. Don't miss it this Saturday, March 15 at 8 p.m. on the family station, Love 101.
It's about to get real, man.
Center Stage every first and third Saturday evening at 8 o'clock inside the Gospel Music Machine with me, Nigel Wilkinson, on the family station, Love 101.
For small people, fancy birthday.
Hey, 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 small people crew. It's me, Auntie Vashti, and there's so much about Jamaica. I can't wait to share it with you. Join me this Thursday at 4:30 p.m. on the Small People Show, where little voices make big sounds. Listen every Thursday on Jamaica Up Close. It's all about our treasured island, Jamaica, from fun facts to hidden gems and all the things that make us truly special. Don't miss out. Tune in this and every Thursday on Jamaica Up Close at 4:30 p.m. with me, Auntie Vashti, only on the family station. Love 101. You're invited to listen to Encounter, presented by the Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, every Thursday at 10 p.m. First Thursdays, the New United Bible Way Church of God with Reverend Dr. Jasmine Brown. Every second Thursday, Apostle Dr. Elaine Richards, Public Relations Officer, Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, and Women of God in Service, Rogis Ministries International. Every third Thursday, Senior Pastor Fitzroy Carr, Praise Deliverance Ministry. Every fourth Thursday, Reverend Dr. Leonie Samuels, pastor at the Richmond New Testament Church of God in St. Mary. And on fifth Thursdays, Reverend Dr. Ruthlyn McCarty, Kingdom Covenant Family Church. That's Encounter, presented by the Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, every Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on the family station. Love 101.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Now, last Tuesday, the newly minted Minister of Finance, the Honorable Favour Williams, made her very first budget debate presentation in Gordon House. Now, the views regarding her presentation are undoubtedly many, as they are mixed, with some persons expressing satisfaction while others are expressing, well, dissatisfaction. And in this, the first watch, we will hear the views of two analysts in this regard. First of all, Dr. Andre Horton, economist, who I gather is online so far, and we hope to be joined by Kevin O'Brien Chang, social commentator. Good morning to you, Dr. Horton.
Good morning to your listeners as well. How are we this morning?
You tell me how you're doing.
Well, giving God thanks.
Yeah, man. Good to have you.
Giving God thanks every day.
Yes, good to have you on. And we hope to be joined by Kevin O'Brien Chang.
Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay, good. Morning to you.
Morning.
Yes, okay. Now, gentlemen, generally speaking, what are your opening thoughts on the budget presentation by the Minister of Finance, especially in light of the fact that this was her first such presentation in that capacity? Beginning with you, Kevin O'Brien.
Well, it's a conservative budget, nothing earth-shattering. All the things she did were incremental improvements. Even the supposed highlight, this income tax threshold is going up 100,000 this year, next year. You know, so very conservative. Nothing, as in cricket, they would say, it's playing a straight bat. You know, no big, no hooks and cuts, just straight bats. And yeah, so as it was expected, really, nobody expected anything earth-shattering. And I think what is interesting is that Favour Williams seems to have caught the public's imagination. And I think it's more her style than any of the measures that were done, you know? There are three things that caught my eye listening to it, caught my ear, I should say. The first one, when she talked about carrying water when she was a young girl, when the tank was empty and carried on with the bucket on her head and her kata, you know? I think that resonated a lot with the average Jamaicans who can really relate to that, you know? Even in the kata, the language here, you know, the country girl, down to earth, you know. The second thing that caught my attention was her rather witty quote. She said, using the NIR to fund the budget is like parting with your rent money. And what happens when the music stops? That was very witty and to the point. It again resonates. It's common language, common man language, and anybody can relate to that. If you use your rent money to party, when the music stops, what happened? You get booted out of your house. And the third one was when she said they could have run a deficit. It's now permissible by the rules that were set. But she said that she and Andrew and Hollis looked it in the eye and said no, even though it's an election year, because of the signal to send locally and abroad. And that was again quite effective, showing that they could have run with it. It's an election year, and often politicians say getting re-elected is more important than anything else. But they said no and stayed responsible. So those were my thoughts overall. The cautious budget and the quite witty remarks, you know.
Okay. Dr. Horton, your take?
Yeah. When I listen to the budget, I mean, based on her standard, she could have done a lot worse, but it wasn't a bad delivery from her point of view. But when you look at where Jamaica is and where the country wants to go, the budget is really designed for an election rather than for the long-term growth and development of this country. And what do I mean? In 2016, the government embarked on a plan that they said they want the country to grow by 5% in 4 years. Fast forward 9 years later, the country grew by negative 1% last year. Now, what does this mean? This means that we are just following through the rhetoric with our budgets, right? Every year we try to do what we think is best for consumers to look at us in a light where we are being benevolent to them. Take, for example, the whole idea of electricity tax, right? Now, a well-thinking country, if we are faced with our electricity cost, then we are going to attack that from a production point of view, right? We're going to say, okay, it's costing us X amount to produce electricity and it's too expensive. We're paying 40 cents per kilowatt and we want to reduce this to 20 cents per kilowatt hour, 15 cents per kilowatt hour. How do we approach that problem? Now, do we approach that problem from the consumption side, where we have to facilitate those who are using electricity and giving them extra money to pay for that electricity? Or do we approach it from the production side, which is how do we invest in renewables? How do we invest in hydroelectric plants? How do we invest in, for example, solar energy? Even nuclear has been on the board. So we're still not getting the picture that in order for economic activity to take place, it needs some amount of production. The government has to play a role to assist private entities in that production so that the more output we have, the more income people can receive, and then they themselves can turn around and pay for whatever electricity costs they incur because it is going to be cheaper on their behalf. Right? So that's an issue. Capital expenditure is about 62 billion. While interest payment is over 200 and odd billion. Now, in a country like this where infrastructure is so low, you cannot have a situation where you are paying more interest on loans fourfold than what you are investing in capital expenditure. And I think she needs to find a synonym or a metaphor for that, because these are real issues that the country, it's not about carrying water in the head again, we're gone past that. You understand what I mean? Jamaica should be ashamed to be thinking about carrying water on head in 2024. What are we doing to ensure that water is distributed into every household So you get a budget every year worth 2 billion.
Yeah, Dr. Horton. Yeah, before.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Could you just hold that thought, please? We are up on a break. We'll be right back.
Learn more on the board. Discover a new and convenient way to send money abroad with the GK1 app. Download GK1 from the Google Play Store or Apple App Store to send with Western Union today. The time by Grace Kennedy Remittance is
7:15.
I would like content for more. Knowing I need some more. I want to do my own thing.
Bank Business Credit Card. You get a 1-month payment holiday, up to 55 days interest-free, and unlimited rewards points on every dollar you spend. Discover how easy and convenient it is to pay your taxes with your Sagicor Bank's Business Credit Card. Don't have a Sagicor Bank Business Credit Card? Visit Sagicor.com to apply for yours today. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. We are evaluating the recent budget presentation by the Minister of Finance. And in so doing, we have online Kevin O'Brien Chang, social commentator, and Dr. Andre Horton, economist. Now, before the break, Kevin O'Brien Chang was saying that the presentation was conservative, a conservative budget. Nothing earth-shattering, caught the public's attention, and imagination. Down to earth, witty quotes, and the government obviously, he's saying, chose not to have a run with it budget. On the other hand, we find Dr. Horton saying that it's not a bad delivery, but the budget was really designed for election rather than a path of growth. And he's focusing a while ago on the electricity costs, consumption vis-a-vis production, and capital expenditure. Please continue, Dr. Horton, so we can bring in again Kevin O'Brien Chang. Dr. Horton, your time again. All right, don't know what's going on. Kevin O'Brien Chang, you still there?
Yeah, man, I'm here. Yeah, man.
Yeah, please. In the meantime, you want to respond or you want to add to anything you said earlier? Respond to what Dr. Horton said?
Well, like I said, the Jamaicans realize now there's no single magic bullet that's going to turn things around. It's going to take a series of incremental improvements, even the electricity. The cost of electricity. We all know why electricity in Jamaica is so high. It's because the people are getting, a lot of people in the so-called inner city, the garrisons, are getting free electricity. It's out of a social contract where, you'll get free electricity and water. You don't rise up and want to overflow.
The reason is because of that and not the fuel cost?
No, our cost, if you take out, listen, you heard the cost, it's 13,000 per Jamaican because of the electricity theft. I think it's about 1/3 higher than it would be, roughly about that. If it was without that, we'd probably be in line with most countries, our income bracket and stuff. We don't make oil, we can't compare ourselves to places like Trinidad and such, but we have to import all the oil. But if you look at it without that, we're about in the same range as the oil importing countries. So it's a social contract kind of thing, and you have to wean the people off it. The politicians have bought off the people. And to change that, it's going to take a long time of a cultural change. And the changes suggested about the prepaid and giving them a incentive to join the prepaid so you can start paying for what you use. It's a start, but it's not going to happen overnight. And cultural changes don't happen overnight, right? And the people are used to it. So it's a fact, and a lot of the problem with Jamaica is cultural. Even the low productivity. It's obvious why productivity is low because of the poor education system. But more to the point, it is the boys. There's a huge gender gap between boys and girls. It's obvious from all levels. If the boys were at the level of the girls, our productivity gap would be much lower. And again, it's a cultural thing. The boys aren't dumber than the girls, but culturally, they're not being raised properly to embrace academics. So people can talk about magic bullets and improving this and improving that, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time and patience. Look at the crime. We saw it with the crime. For years, people are bawling about crime, need to cut this and that magic bullets. But what happened? The government invested a lot in the police, the bigger budget for the security forces, higher pay for the police. They got more police, the full complement now, and the soldiers, and better equipment. And suddenly we're seeing the fruits now where murders are plummeting. So it's going to be that all around. So when people look on the budget and say, "No, why shouldn't do this to cut electricity? Why should do that to raise productivity?" Powers are limited. Reality is reality. So given that, I think the government's focus on macroeconomic stability is the right thing. You look at it. Why could the government invest in police? More policemen, better equipment, because the budget, the debt to GDP ratio came down. Less debt means less payments in interest, and more you can have more to invest in what you need to invest in. And it's a continuation of that we saw. So going on for 9-10 years now with Andrew Holness. Every year a little better, a little better, a little better. And it's a continuity of that. And I respect that because that is reality.
Okay. Yeah, hearing it loud and clear. Dr. Hart, you're back with us.
Yeah, man. What's up, guys?
Yeah, man. Yeah, so Kevin O'Brien, I think he's saying the incremental improvements need to be acknowledged and affirmed.
You see, there are no real incremental improvements. All that is improving is the debt servicing and the credit rating. Everything else in the economy has been left up for grabs. And that is what I've been trying to explain to you. You know, when you take a mature country like Jamaica, a country that wants its gross domestic product per capita to move from $7,000 to $13,000 per person, we have to make bolder economic decisions. Our per capita GDP has moved over the last 10 years from 5,000 to 7,000. And that has been because of nominal GDP increases, not because of real GDP increases. So when you talk about incremental changes and the government is trying their best and yes, they are trying their best given their limited capacity of knowledge as to what is necessary to move a country forward collectively. And that is what we are saying. We cannot be pouring the water, keep pouring the water, and the country to be better off. Yes, this year time is down because the police are making a more concerted effort to get rid of the criminals. No problem. Yes, crime is down because not the criminals run across the border. And yes, with community intervention programs that has assisted these communities to recognize the importance of civility, the importance of cohesion in the community affairs. So we understand that, but where is the investment going? What is our national developmental strategy? AI, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, the fourth industrial revolution is upon us. We will have job losses. Where are those job replacements coming? What is this country doing for its young people in terms of helping them to understand the importance of education? What are we doing for the two main things? that are impacting our productivity, crime and human capital development, corruption. What are we doing about the corruption? So we have a budget that, yes, it shows the line, and we talk about the government doing incremental stuff, but it does not lay the right long-term foundation for a nation of such remarkable people who want better for themselves and their children's children. You help me pay my light bill for 6 months, no problem. I'm very appreciative of that. But what happens for the next 6 months? What happens to the others? And it was a good thing when they reduced the tax on electricity. It's very good thing. Very welcoming thing. No problem on that, but also from a consumption point of view. We have to be looking at the economy from a production point of view. So there's nothing wrong with trying, but what there is something wrong with is us not doing what is necessary to give the country the boost that it needs. And that is where my problem lies.
All right. So Dr. Horton, what should she have emphasized more for that boost that you just spoke about?
We need to be looking at the bigger picture. We need to be pushing for renewable energy and climate resilience, aggressively subsidizing solar panels and installation, looking at developing community groups and electricity vehicle infrastructure, if that is the case. Maybe we need to be looking at providing green bonds and low-cost loans to MSMEs. We need to look at engage civil labor. We need to look at how we are going to use these prisoners to get into the production process so that they themselves can feel a part of the nation building. You know, we have to now look at how we are going to unlock the digital economy with KYC systems and how we're going to look at digital payment and mobile money on a blockchain platform, not on the platform that the Bank of Jamaica has it now. We need to look at how we invest in STEM, which is AI.
Yes, yeah, man, stick it in there. Because we're running out of time, and I would like Kevin O'Brien Chang to say, what else could Mrs. Williams emphasize in her budget presentation?
Well, like I said, it's not going to happen overnight. And anybody looking for silver bullets that are going to transform reality. So I think the right thing was done. The debt to GDP ratio keeps coming down, and the plan is to keep it coming down to the 60% target. And that is perhaps the single biggest thing. Over the debt, you have more money to spend on infrastructure. It's basic math. When we're at 140%, 120%, we're paying more in debt than we're on infrastructure. So I can't think of anything. I'm not an expert, but I do believe that keeping on the right track. The most important thing was keeping on track. You keep on track, you'll eventually reach your destination. You start doing crazy things, you get off track, you have to start all over again. We're 2/3 there. Let us keep on the track to finish the last third. That is my feeling, so that is why I think it is a good budget in terms of sending the right signal to the Jamaican people and to foreign investors.
So Kevin O'Brien, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, I want you to rate the entire presentation.
I give it a 9, It was an excellent, all the measures were right, and the people are telling you, I've never heard about it being spoken about like this one. I don't know because she's a female, but the public has really taken her back on this one. They didn't like her as education minister, but she's become a very popular finance minister. Show how politics works.
Okay. Dr. Andre Horton, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how much you do rate her overall?
Yeah, I think the presentation was a 6. As I said before, there were a lot missed in terms of our long-run growth trajectory and so on and so forth. I think it was an election budget. It's very short-term and myopic in approach and thinking. It doesn't really hit the core and address the fundamental challenges that the country faces that's really hampering our ability to grow and remain climate resilient. So with a budget like this, we can expect to be susceptible to negative external shock next year. Then if hurricane come will be impacted severely again without no change, and so on and so forth.
That's to leave it there. All right, so Kevin O'Brien give it a 9 and you give it a 6. And depending on how you turn it, is either 6 or 9. All right, thank you so much. All right, let's have a safe and productive day. Yeah, man. Listeners, the Morning Watch will return in just a moment.
The time by Jam Bank is
7:30.
Don't let freshness stitch you when you need it the most. Wash your clothes with Downy Softener to keep dazzling everyone around you from day to night. Try Downy Softener now.
Mama work hard, for real. She do the most to send me and my brother to school. So, the dream was always to go to university. Well, I fulfilled 2 dreams with 1 June bank savings plan, you know. Further my education, and I make mama proud. Wishing you could. With your Jane Bank savings, you absolutely can. Jane Bank will help you find a way.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
You're invited to listen to Encounter, presented by the Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, every Thursday at 10 p.m. First Thursdays, the New United Bible Way Church of God with Reverend Dr. Jasmine Brown. Every second Thursday, Apostle Dr. Elaine Richards, Public Relations Officer, Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, and Women of God in Service, Rogis Ministries International. Every third Thursday, Senior Pastor Fitzroy Carr, Praise Deliverance Ministry. Every fourth Thursday, Reverend Dr. Leonie Samuels, pastor at the Richmond New Testament Church of God in St. Mary. And on fifth Thursdays, Reverend Dr. Ruthlyn McCarty, Kingdom Covenant Family Church. That's Encounter, presented by the Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, every Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now look at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing in the Observer. Resurfacing of running track at the National Stadium completed. Okay. Also, JHTA Mobe chapter upbeat about healthcare access in the resort city. In Loop News, deportee welcomed home with a murder charge. And then, still in Loop News, Cavaliers seek miracle comeback versus Messi's Inter Miami in Kingston. Those are some of the major stories in our newspapers. Coming up next, we'll read some of the feedback from our social media question. What are your thoughts on Minister Williams' budget debate presentation? We're asking you to leave a comment on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Love 101 FM Jamaica, or WhatsApp 876-997-3125. We'll be
The
Church of God Seventh-day 58 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 presents its youth anniversary celebration and Praise Pulse Gospel Concert, Saturday, March 15, 2025, beginning at 9:30 a.m. Listen live on Love 101 FM at 4:30 p.m. as we will be on location to share this celebration with you. That's the Church of God Seventh-day 58 Maxfield Avenue's youth anniversary celebration and Praise Pulse Gospel Concert, beginning at 9:30 a.m. Our anniversary, our legacy, the future. Join the movement. Listen live at 4:30 p.m. right here on Love 101 FM, the family station.
Love 101 FM invites you to listen to a broadcast of the 2025-2026 budget presentation of Julian Robinson, Opposition Spokesperson on Finance and the Public Service, this Thursday, March 13 at 2 p.m. That's a broadcast of the presentation of Julian Robinson, Opposition Spokesperson on Finance and the Public Service, here on Love 101 FM, the family station.
Are you ready?
Get ready to shine a light on the brightest stars in gospel music.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to Center Stage, the ultimate destination for exclusive interviews and inspiring stories from the gospel music industry. From legendary gospel artists to rising stars, from producers to industry experts, we're bringing you the inside scoop on the people who make gospel music happen. Join us on Center Stage as we delve into the hearts and minds of gospel music's finest. Discover their passions, challenges, and triumphs, and get ready to be inspired.
Please welcome.
Join me, Nadine Blair, inside Center Stage with Nigel Wilkinson, Saturday, March 15 at 8 p.m. Miranda, what am going to ask me? It surely will be fun. Don't miss it this Saturday, March 15 at 8 p.m. on the family station, Love 101.
It's about to get real, man.
Center Stage every first and third Saturday evening at 8 o'clock inside the Gospel Music Machine with me, Nigel Wilkinson, on the family station Love 101.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now join Jukal for a look at how our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp friends answer today's question. What are your thoughts on Minister Williams' budget debate presentation? Jukal?
All right, so we do have some responses. The first one comes to us from Sister Loretta in Clarendon. She says, for the first time, the presentation resonates with a lot of us. How she came across was quite effective. But in all instances, you are looking for a long-term delivery in any case for the country and the benefits of the Jamaican people, and also how will our economy develop and grow for the future. This one is from Sherry, actually. That's Sherry. This is write us in the voice notes. Let's hear from her.
Good morning to the Morning Watch and listeners. I think the minister budget reading, it make no sense. I get nothing from it. That is my view. It make no sense.
All right, that's what Sister Loretta in Clarendon.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. All right, thank you so very much to those who responded. We appreciate it. As we segue into the second watch, it was founded by Jamaican educator, broadcaster, and social entrepreneur Orlando Uncle Lance Dillon. And this year it celebrates 15 years of existence, with 13 years of those years associating with Bickle, Jamaica, at the world-renowned Penn Relays. But in case you did not know or notice, I'm talking about Kids Hub Media Network. And to tell us more about this organization, we have in studio Orlando Dillon himself, Executive Director of Kids Hub Media Network, and online, Aisha Escoffery, Junior Hubber of the same media network. Good morning to you both.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
It's
Good
great
morning.
to find my way back to love.
I like how you put that. And of course, that's the voice of Orlando Dillon. Aisha, you with us?
Good morning.
Yeah, man. Good to have you with us online and to see you as well, wherever you are in the world. Hey, Asia. All right, let me begin with you, Orlando Dillon. What really is Kids Hub Media Network, and why and how was it started?
We know that literacy, the ability to read and write, is something that we try to stamp out through education. We're living in a media age. I think that media literacy is similar to illiteracy. Media literacy is similar to literacy, the ability to read and write, and in media literacy, the ability to understand the media age. Kids Hub was founded in 2010. I'm an educator. I went to St. Joseph Teachers College, the first male to be trained early childhood in Jamaica. And I taught at a number of schools, Excelsior, Almontown Primary, and I worked on the curriculum, the integrated curriculum before this one. And then I went to London and taught there. So my background is in education. I said, welcome back to love, because I used to do a program on this station years ago. So I brought education and media together and did a radio show for students in the United States. And Kids Hub was formed out of that radio program, and now it's a media network. So it's an opportunity for kids, students, and kids across the globe to develop media literacy, the understanding of media, how to ask the who, what, why, when, and where questions, and to really find themselves, how to really center themselves in a place where information is all over the place. How do you decode it? How do you approach it? How do you deal with an article that you see in the paper? How do you deal with something that you hear on radio? And how do you deal with something that you're watching on TV?
Yeah. Okay. 15 years of existence. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Aisha, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell us about yourself, Aisha, if you don't mind. Your age, for example, school you attend, and your career goals.
Well, I am 11 years old. I attend Consistent Primary Infant School. My future goals is to become a neurosurgeon.
How old is you again?
Please repeat.
How old do you say you are again? How old?
11 years old.
11 years old. Okay. And why did you become a part of this organization, this network?
I was recommended by a teacher because I'm very confident in what I can do. And so I think I'd be a very good fit. And I could get the experience from going abroad and interviewing people.
And you have done that?
Please repeat?
You have done that? You have done those interviews abroad?
No.
Will be your first time?
This is her first.
Oh, so you'll be going to the Premier League?
She'll be part of the team going.
Yes. All right, good. So as you prepare for that, Aisha, tell us what are you thinking? What's your preparation like for the Premier League?
Well, just to improve my public speaking skills, my social skills, and to boost my confidence.
Okay. All right. Orlando Dillon, if you don't mind telling us, how is your network funded, and what are the daily operations like?
So we've been blessed to have a myriad of sponsors who have come aboard since we've started. I was running the numbers the other day and said to my accountant, can you just calculate how much money I've spent? I'm one of the guys who think that you put your money where your mouth is. And so it's very much self-funded, in the initial stages of the organization. A lot of my own money pumped into it and then other people kind of saw the vision, understood the vision. It took me quite long to share the vision because I was passionate about it. But now I can say it in a sentence. I think people are beginning to understand that now, and they've come on board. We thank Microsoft, Google. We thank FX Audiovisual. Just mentioning some of them, vMix, you name it. Those are some of the partners we currently have. Back in the day,
They provide funding?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They provide not only most of those people that we talk about are people who have come on, like vMix, for instance. I don't know, many people know vMix, the production software. Right. They have given us their premium top tier broadcast software to utilize for our kids. FX Audio Visual have pumped several thousand, close to over $100,000 worth of gear and equipment and so on to us over the years. Yeah.
Sorry to do this to you, but we're up on a break.
Not a break.
In life, the more you have, the more you have to lose.
The more you love, the more you worry. The more you own, the less you sleep.
The more people rely on you, the more you have on your mind.
I have peace of mind,
knowing that whatever I own
and whoever I care about are covered by the very best.
With Sagicor Life and Advantage General, get life, health, and general insurance to help you protect what matters most. Yes, it's tax time. March 17 is the due date for your income tax returns. Self-employed individuals are required to file their annual returns SO4 and estimating return SO4A, income tax, education tax, NHT, and NISD.
Focusing on training the next generation of on-air journalists. Yeah. And in so doing, we have online Asia Escoffery, Junior Hubber of Kids Hub Media Network, and Orlando Dillon, who's in studio. He's the executive director of the same network. Orlando Dillon, Asia is a part of it, and Asia is 11 years of age. Is there an age limit, age range that you have been abiding by?
Absolutely.
The
magic number is 7 to 17. When they become 18 years old, they're out of the organization. But we start training students from 7 years old.
Mm-hmm. Why 7?
7 because I'm an early childhood educator, and I wanted to make sure I still get some of the formative years in. And I think 7 worked to be the magic. I wanted to go to 5 because I started in a basic school, and so I wanted to go then. But in terms of scalability and the ability for it to work within schools and in the clubs that we run, found at 7. So I wanted to make sure I pick up at least some of the early childhood, the formative years.
And what are some of the challenges you have had so far? I guess it's not all glitter and gold.
No, absolutely not. I tell you, the challenges for any nonprofit is always funding. Always funding. Getting the students to the pen relays each year, which was one of our bigger projects. It weren't for some of the airline sponsors were good to us over the years, but funding was always a challenge. The other part of it was having the students across the globe. I tell you, one of the biggest challenges we had was time zones, because, for instance, Australia, that's
Okay. Yeah.
if I wanted to have the global collaboration with students from Jamaica and Australia, it would find a time sometimes we're only able to get it on weekends.
Yeah.
So that was part of the challenge. Also, media mentors, and to be able to get them at a time where the students can be from someone at NBC call and everybody can get it at the same time was tough. So those are some of the challenges that we've faced over the years. Right now, I think one of the things is also how do we get this to more students? That's a challenge. We started out with a conversation with the Broadcasting Commission years ago.
What do you have now?
In terms of students?
Yeah,
we've trained over 30,000 junior broadcasters across the globe.
Wow.
Yeah. So the challenge right now, we have 2 schools in Jamaica. Portmore Missionary Preparatory School.
Okay.
And it was a private school, and then Constance Primary and Infant School. We have had Campion, we have had JC, we have had Almontown Primary School. In the conversation with the Broadcasting Commission, we were talking about an implementation of the media literacy curriculum within the system, but we just never got it off the ground. So I'm actually re-engaging with them now about how to have our students in Jamaica have the same kind of opportunities like students across the globe. Yeah.
Right. Aisha, still with us? Aisha, are you muted?
Yes.
Yeah, Aisha. Yes, can you tell us how you heard of this network? How, give us an idea of how you became aware of it.
Can you repeat?
Give us an idea of how you became aware of this network and this program.
My teacher told me about it, and I watched it on YouTube, and I saw it was very interesting.
Mm-hmm. And are other students at your school involved, or it's just you?
There's 4 more.
4 more. And genders, what are they? All females, all males, mixed, what?
What do you say, sir?
Is it mixed in terms of male, female?
1 male and 3 females.
Okay.
4, yes, including me.
Yes. And when you have these initiatives, these programs going on, there are persons, your fellow students who know about it and all that. What are you doing, and the rest of the team doing to promote this network?
Well, we're still in training, so we hope just to learn more things so we can get better at it.
Tell us about the training. What's it like?
Well,
even though Mr. Dillon is here. Tell us what it's like.
Please repeat.
Tell us about the training, the ups and the downs, the positives and the negatives.
Well, there's only positive feedback, no negative.
All right. What are the positive things? What are the things that you look forward to that make it excitable?
So I just want to, boost my confidence because sometimes I'm very shy. And, make my voice be heard.
Right. So in the training, what do they do when you enter wherever? Tell us what happens in the first part of it, the middle part, and the last part so far.
So Uncle Lance told us that the most important part in interviewing is listening, so you can produce a great feedback.
Yes.
And
so you have become a good listener.
Yes.
And also, what else? What about the questions that you would ask in an interview? Any training on that so far?
Open and closed sentences, something like that.
Okay. And what would you say to the other kids who may be listening? Some of them, most of them are at school now, but perhaps they will go listening or watching this online in the future. What do you say to other children across the world and Jamaica?
I would say to sometimes you have to push yourself out there to get the rewards that you want.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And even if you are shy, you have to become bold and brave, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. All right, Orlando Dillon, as we wind on our discussion.
Yes.
The pen release.
Yes.
Yeah. What's that about? Why the pen release?
So the pen release is the largest and longest running athletic meet in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kind of vibe I think that comes from our. If you think about champs, we love champs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the champs energy that's brought to the pen relays, and it's this year the 129th running of the pen relays. The reason why we thought it was interesting and why we got involved with the coverage of pen is because there's another organization that is founded by another Jamaican. His name is Erwin Clare, and what he does, his organization Team Jamaica Bickle, feed the athletes, provide them with transportation from the airport to the hotel and back, and transport them from the hotel to and from the field.
Right.
And also breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the dumpling, the regular stuff, and so on. So we had a friendship, and I love this mission. So one of the things we spoke about was the athletes and their inability to do effective interviews. So you have an athlete who's great, did a really great race, won, and then they got interviewed. And speaking from an ambassador standpoint, they struggle. Yeah. And so we said, let's do something about that. So what we started to doing right now as part of the project, we have sessions where we'll pull Calabar, we pull JC in for 15 minutes, and we do a boot camp interview training, showing them what's a good answer. How do you answer to not only showcase your school, but showcase Jamaica, showcase our culture. And so we talk about being an ambassador as an athlete, so you have the ability, but now how do you sell that? How do you share that with the world? And so pen relays is, if anyone knows about the pen relays, the black, green, and gold is very strong. It without Jamaicans at the pen relays, it's they need Jamaicans at the pen relays. So it's a really great place for us to be able to connect back with culture. And I'm a yard man, straight. I love my culture. I'm here every single year, sometimes twice a year, and I want to Jamaica. The brand Jamaica is huge, and so with a partnership with Team Jamaica Bickle, we get a chance to really showcase the best of Jamaica, to offer opportunities to students like Asia, and have them in a place where they can grow themselves. We say pen relays is not for the faint of heart.
Right.
None of these students, when they go and come back, are the same. They grow. When they touch other cultures and they work with other students across culture, and they're given to the athletes, it makes such a huge difference, and I want to continue to do it. 15 more years.
Yeah, well, I mentioned that. Anything though that needs to be done more going forward? Because you mentioned 15 more years, God's willing.
Sure.
Yeah. What else you want to work on?
We just came out of a year and a half of planning our restructuring. Like I said to you off here just now, about the change in our current, curriculum, which is to focus a lot on production skills and to give a lot more students the opportunity to engage as it relates to video editing, shooting, video production, post-production, learning how to operate a video switcher, learning how to operate a mixing console. Those kinds of things are the opportunities that we're now focusing on. So in our kids of media clubs across the world, we're doing that. So for instance, Constance Primary Infant School, there's going to be some of the kids who want to learn that and develop that. I always talk about Raman Mitchell. Raman Mitchell is one of our students who came to us about 12 years ago. And Raman never, ever went in front of the camera. And Raman is now in Jamaica. He came up last year and worked with another company that I run and own. 18 events for us. Awesome dude. I mean, he's so talented, you know, and he's here working on large productions in Jamaica. You know, there's John Mark Prince, who was just at Sportsmax. I talk about him. Regine Bennett is now studying at the university. I can call names and names and names, and all of these names you can find. And if you look at on the YouTube, you'll see them.
And one upcoming now is Asia. Asia is coming. Asia, I got that.
Yes.
Yeah. Looking forward to that, Asia. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. All the best to you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us as well. Orlando Bilan. Great job. Keep up the work.
Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to talk about Giving with a Global Voice.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, listeners, for being with us. For information to get copies of this program, call our production department at 876-968-959627. This, of course, has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Kathy Gale. Join Mr. Stokely Marshall next week as he continues to look at the issues of the day. I'm Darlene Toussaint, reminding you to be purposeful, faithful, thankful, and watchful as I hand you back to Love in the Morning with Jokal Dyer.
At the Ministry of Health and Wellness, we are committed to the values of care, compassion, excellence in service, integrity, teamwork, and innovation as we work to safeguard the health of our nation. The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is...
Time is now 8 a.m. Coming up next is Forward in Faith, brought to you by the New Testament Church of God in Bayside.